Hey, what's up, guys? Today we have a brand new video, and we need to talk about Chris Eubank Jr. Now, as you guys know, Chris Eubank Jr. suffered a bad loss just a few days ago, November 15th, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London to Conor Benn. Yes, it was the rematch. Obviously, their first fight, Eubank won by a decision. Um, Pretty close fight, I say, in the first fight, but Eubank clearly won, right? He was the better boxer. He was countering. He was more in control. Ben looked kind of sloppy, it just wasn't, I didn't think it was a great performance by Ben. But this rematch, fortunately for Chris Eubank, he got dominated badly. He lost almost every round. I would say he won probably one round at most and suffered two bad knockdowns in the final 12th round. So yeah, it was just a beatdown by Conor Benn, basically. And Eubank did not look good, right? Now, there's going to be debates about the weight drain, right? Because Eubank, I would say, was drained to make 160. It's a struggle to make 160 for him, and not to mention he's an older fighter, right? Eubank's in his late 30s now. He's 36 years old, out of prime, and he struggled to make the weight in the first fight. I think he missed it and had to get fined. Like missed about like well, zero point 0.1 of a pound, but he still missed the weight. This time he made it, but as you can see, your body can only do these hard weight cuts so much. And then on top of that, there's a rehydration clause. Now, people are getting mad at Conor Benn, trying to discredit his win. No, Conor Benn made adjustments. He boxed well. He was a much better fighter, more composed, uh, had a better pace, better rhythm. So you can't knock Conor Benn. No, Conor Benn fought, he did what he needed to do. He adjusted, and but we do have to acknowledge that the weight cut played an issue and the rehydration clause. That's the thing is that I don't really like I don't like draining someone down, but then when you slap a rehydration clause on top of it, it's like, bro, you have to pick one or the other, right? That's why I didn't like when Ryan Garcia fought Gervonta Davis. He had to go down to 136. He only got a 1 pound catch weight, which maybe helped a little, but not that much. And on top of that, you have the rehydration clause. Like it should either be you're gonna drain them, but don't give them rehydration clause. Or if you're gonna do a rehydration clause, don't drain them. It can't be both. But with that out the way, we should talk about what's next for Chris Eubank Jr. because this loss was a setback for him. Now, first, he can't be going to 160 again, and I don't think they should do another rematch. I think problem that we've seen recently in boxing is that people want to just like we get a good fight and then they go rematch right away. I'm like, okay, rematches tend to do well in boxing. You can usually sell them well, especially if the first fight had a lot of hype. There's some unanswered questions. All right, you do a rematch. But then there's like, oh, well, he won the first fight, he won the second fight. We need a trilogy. We've seen this with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. People are calling for Eubank, not Eubank, Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev trilogy right away. I'm like, I don't think we need to just do trilogy after trilogy. Like, bro, we need fresh matchups. Let's get the division moving and let's create some more stars in boxing. We don't need to just keep running it back and back and back. Fans, eventually people get fatigued, even if we like the fighters involved. I don't think we need to do a trilogy. So, what's next for Chris Eubank? Well, as I said before, he needs to be at 168 at the minimum, and no rehydration clauses. From now on, it's just make the weight. If he thinks he can do a catch weight at 164, 163, then maybe he can try that. But no more rehydration clause, full rehydration. The effects of draining yourself, it's obvious, right? You're weaker, you're slower, your punch resistance worse. Obviously, it mentally affects you too. Just no more of that, right? And I think Eubank, he has a small window of opportunity. He's not going to become a champion, right? He's not going to be a champion at 168. He's not going to be a champion at 160 or 175. He's not going to win a belt. But he can get 1 to 2 more paydays if that's what he wants. And so who do I think he should fight? Well, the plan was for him to fight Canelo Alvarez, right? But of course he lost. Well, what's the appeal for Canelo? Now you can still make two losers fight where it's kind of like all right, well, whoever wins is kind of done, and the other one is like, oh, maybe their career can move on. But at this stage, I don't think Eubank, even at 168 with the added weight, is competitive with Canelo. I think he would. I don't know if he gets stopped because, obviously Canelo hasn't stopped anyone in a while since the Caleb Plant fight, but it'd probably be a pretty bad beatdown, get dropped a couple times, right? If you're getting dropped by Conor Benn, who's a welterweight, even with a drain, I can't see him being competitive with Canelo. Obviously, Crawford, he's not getting an undisputed title shot. Even if he was to win, he wasn't getting a title shot against Crawford. Um, so I'm not really sure who there is at 168 who would be a big money fight, especially with Eubank having a UK audience. He's still not that well known in America. So like, yeah, he could bring an American fighter over to the UK, but who would that be? I mean, Hamza Shiraz, but that almost feels like a passing of the torch fight. And I think Shiraz would be a pretty big favorite at this point. Um, could it be uh Edgar Berlanga? I mean, does that really sell? So I'm really just not sure what's next, who exactly would be the right opponent for Chris Eubank. And to be honest, I think retirement could be an option, right? You got the two big paydays against Conor Benn. I mean, that's probably what, at least 10 million or so each, right? I mean, he got the payday, and is it really worth? I mean, he just became a father to like two twin boys I'm seeing, and this month. So you have to ask yourself, like, what is the motivation? You got the two big paydays against Ben. You're still relatively healthy. Like, yeah, that second fight probably, he did take some damage, but not really any devastating CTE. Like, it's not like Eubank's been, knocked out cold or before. So, I mean, if I had to be honest, I think retirement is the best option for Chris Eubank Jr. I don't think he should go through the rebuilding phases and like do a couple tune-up fights because like that's what you do when you want to get in title contention, right? That's like an Anthony Joshua. He was aiming for that three-time world champ, so he kind of built himself, with Jermaine Franklin and Robert Helenius. Like, I don't think Eubank should go that route. If he wants to do the big payday, maybe. I mean, I was gonna say Jake Paul, but honestly, at this point, like, I don't think Jake Paul would fight Eubank. Like, he's fighting AJ. That's a downgrade. So, yeah, I would recommend retirement for Chris Eubank Jr., man. It's unfortunate, but yeah. Anyway, guys, remember to like the video, comment what you think, and suggestions, and subscribe. Thank you, guys.